that it could take 3 more years to settle the dispute over Karen Silkwood. Lauren Farr, News 8, Oklahoma City.
The lonely stretch of Highway 74 outside of Crescent, Oklahoma, isn't anything remarkable. But 44 years ago, what happened here would ignite a national debate, inspire an Oscar-nominated movie, and become a constant source of unanswered questions.
And your mother should be half of your life, your father, mother.
To Michael Meadows, Karen Silkwood was mom. Born in Texas, she grew up to be strong-willed and intelligent, which suited her perfectly for her job at the Kerr-McGee Nuclear Production Facility in Oklahoma.
Think of the things that she missed in her life. It's tough. It's tough to think about.
In the fall of 1974, 28-year-old Karen was in the middle of a union battle with Kerr-McGee over worker safety violations. And when she found out she was contaminated with a lethal dose of plutonium, it was time to talk.
Karen Silkwood died in a 1974 car accident while on her way to meet with a New York Times reporter.
On November 13, 1974, Karen's car ran off the road and hit a culvert. She died instantly. She was on her way to meet New York Times journalist David Byrne.
We'll just jump right to it since we already spoke on the phone. When she didn't show up for your meeting, did you think she just was blowing you off, or did you think something might have happened?
Pretty eerie night, driving through the straight Oklahoma highway, waiting to get down there.
Before David wrote his first article, suspicions were already running high. Was it a tragic car accident or something sinister? When the first story came out, he wrote a union investigator had concluded she'd been run off the road because there was damage and different colored paint chips in her rear bumper.
Would Kerr-McGee, this massive corporation, murder one of its employees? That's a very big deal, very big step for them to take.
He says when he got to the scene of the accident, he spotted a bloody notebook. But a folder that she's rumored to have carried with her that had evidence against Kerr-McGee was nowhere to be seen.
Proving the existence of a folder that wasn't in the car is so hard.
He says it's possible she was murdered, but it seems unlikely that someone could have planned for her car to hit the culvert the way it did.
There just isn't evidence. It's an irritating thing. I mean, when you write a newspaper story, you want it to be definite and positive and everything else.
To me, I don't think somebody set out to kill her. I think they set out to scare her, and she died. And at that point, it became a, oh my gosh, what do we do?
In the official report, investigators wrote Karen fell asleep at the wheel. A theory Michael isn't buying.
If you're gonna go with the I fell asleep theory, she fell asleep 5 minutes into a drive that was probably one of the most stressful nights of her life.
Karen's father, Bill, sued Kerr-McGee, not for her death, but for the plutonium found in her system.
Well, the settlement will go to Karen's children, if there's any settlement there. Now, the safety and health factors there will benefit all people.
The lawsuit was eventually settled, but Kerr-McGee never admitted to any wrongdoing.
Kerr-McGee did not get a fair trial.
This was the vault where they kept the plutonium. And as you can see, it's still pretty solid.
The old Kerr-McGee building was shuttered in 1975. It's now owned by Tom Stewart. They manufacture airplane parts here.
The bundles of rods.
Oh.
Well, I can't open it now, but you'd unscrew this, and that's about 30 feet deep. And they would put the bundles of rods down there and store them.
Walking around the building, it's clear to see.
When they did the remediation, they gridded all this off.
Karen was onto something. Tom says folks in town still speculate about what may have happened to Karen. Some people say they remember seeing papers everywhere at the crash scene. Others theorize she may have been causing trouble in a town where good-paying jobs were hard to come by.
Obviously, it's not been put to rest, because if it were, you wouldn't be here today.
Michael was 5 when Karen died.
It's tough.
And 30 years old when he heard her voice for the first time.
Sorry, guys.
In a documentary.
Not having that memory.
He knows there isn't much time left to find out what happened to his mom.
To draw on it was
because those who know what took place have been quiet.
Surreal.
And still are. To this day. Maureen Wirtz, Tulsa's Channel 8.